Hello everyone. Tonight we are going to do a request video. So, a channel that I subscribe to and really enjoy talking to in the comments, and I enjoy his content as well. And also is the guy who convinced me to buy Menards products is Rabs Trains, R-A-B-S. I suggest you check out his channel as well. Another thing him and I kind of have in common is we both like Williams, and I said that, well, I had a fairly sizable collection, I guess, because I've been buying this stuff since 1990. So he requested that I do a video on my Williams collection, so here we go. If you count all my stuff, including like dummy A units, B units, stuff like that, there's a total of 20. That's not including rolling stock, passenger cars, cabooses, and I even have some freight cars. But anyway, we'll go through this real quick. And besides, they all kind of look cool lined up like this. Never really done this. Had to make myself a table here to do this. So we'll start with some of the early guys, I guess. So, number one, most of you guys remember that. That is the brass Williams Camelback from 1990. One of many locomotives I have from 1990. Still one of my favorites. Good detail on these little guys. Sorry, I didn't bring the tender down. When you have this brass stuff, you got to kind of be careful. Any of you guys who watched my original video on this, you might notice I actually made myself a headlight lens. This thing never had a headlight lens, but it sure does now. So there we go, locomotive number one. Number two is a Southern Pacific FM Trainmaster. I bought this, I talked about it in my Trainmaster video. That is right when Bachman bought Williams, so that is actually a Williams by Bachman or whatever. I have no problem with it. I like it. The number is incorrect. That's nowhere near a Southern Pacific number for a Trainmaster, but I don't care. Wire it in series, like I do to all my Williams diesels, and it'll run all day, and it'll pull anything I put behind it. So don't make fun of Williams, ever. Nothing runs like them. Then we got the obligatory upgraded Niagara. Like I've said in the past, this actually was the last locomotive my father purchased before he exited the planet. And then my good friend Nicholas over at Warden Entertainment actually had an original QSI sound system for it, and he upgraded it for me. I know it's not PS3 or Dingle Dong's Electric Railroad or whatever, but you know what? I am perfectly fine with it having its original sound set, and I like it. This is a Williams E7 set in Burlington. I bought that last year, actually. I found that on one of our, online sites or whatever. Hell of a good price. The two of them new in box, I should say, were under $200. So I had to jump on that. You guys never seen these things up close? These are nice, especially for the price. They got metal grabs. They got a simulated Mars light. I'm sorry, it's up there. And they just, same thing. They'll just run forever. They got good detail. I love the pilot on it. You just can't beat them. It's not as detailed as that MTH set of E8s I have, but this thing runs 100 times better, and I'm not making that up. Next one is one of my faves, obviously. That is the Union Pacific Mikado, also from Williams in 1990. Always one of my favorites. You cannot beat that one. That thing runs so dang good, it's not even funny. Next up is a Scale GG1. I bought this, God, package deal with these guys here. But 99 or 2000, whatever year the FA1, the scale FA1s came out, I ordered it directly from Williams. And it was kind of funny back then. How you would order from Williams is you would call them, like, you know, I obviously had a job, and I would call them at night. I would leave my order on their answering machine because I'm Mountain Time, they're Eastern Time. The next day, they would call me back and take my credit card information. So I always thought that was kind of cool. Or you could fax to them, but facsimiles were way above my technical know-how, so I didn't have any of those. But yeah, really nice locomotive. If you want to upgrade a scale GG1, right there. Weaver makes a nice one as well. The only problem is some of their early ones, they're brass, they're very well detailed, but their early ones did not have flywheels, and they do not run like these. Also, this is the only scale GG1 that is rated for 042. It looks absolutely ridiculous doing it, but it will do it. So keep that in mind. And mind your overhang if you want to run one of these on 042. It'll make a big boy look stupid. I'm not kidding. Next up is actually one of my few fantasy paint schemes. Kind of hard to see them in there. But that is a Denver and Rio Grande FM Trainmaster. Once again, Williams, not MTH. I know a lot of guys have this in MTH, but this is actually a Williams. Once again, wired in series. You take this guy, you take this guy. We can probably drag that Chevelle out of here if we needed to. That's how strong and good they run. Next up is my Alco FA1s that are scale. Like I said, I bought these with this, all directly from Williams. These things are awesome. They have like 20 separately applied metal grab irons. Hold on here, we'll go up the top here. I didn't bring down the other A unit, but I did bring down the B unit. The B unit I actually found just a couple years ago. I've been looking at one for years, or looking for one for years, but I finally got one. One of my favorite parts of these FA1s, look at your gap between the two units, okay? And look down there, they're coupled. These are still rated. This is scale locomotive, and these are rated for 027. But look at that gap compared to the gap on the E7s. Like they didn't try. But high point for me on these guys right there. I've always talked about things in my videos. Coupler stick out and gaps. Can't beat it. You got separate fans on these guys. See them in there? And you got, like I said, you got metal grab irons everywhere. So, very cool. Next up, in case anyone wonders why I have Rock Island stuff, my mom's from Rock Island. So, there you go. I have a pair, they're different numbers. I have a pair of Rock Island BL2s. I know the BL2 is ugly to most people. It's actually one of my favorite locomotives. This thing just so looks like a GM product, and it just exemplifies what General Motors would do if they were failing in the marketplace. So anybody that knows trains knows what I'm talking about. This is from the original run, about the same time as this. So this is 99, 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. Same thing. This has like 19 separately applied grab irons. So something insane. This is actually a Williams by Bachmann, or a Bachmann by, I don't know. I found that at a train show here in Denver probably 15 years ago. So I do prefer the original one. Runs quite a bit better. Once again, these are both the same thing. I did the wired in series or whatever. But for some reason, the original one has just the, I don't know, just has the mojo or the je ne sais quoi, as they would say, I guess. It'll pull more, runs better, less amps. This guy, and I'm not making it up, we'll prove it some night. Ever since I wired it in series, that guy can pull a 20-car train at under 1 amp. No fooling. But, nah, good detail on him. I really enjoy this. This is the original Rock Island freight paint scheme. This was just called the Rocket. See, you even got your little builder's plates on it, which is unique for a Williams, but just a good looking unit. There's your B unit. Per the prototype, Rock Island did not number their B units, so any B unit will work. So, kind of like that. Alright, so we're going to go to the other side of the table here. We might have to do some, well, I don't have editing capabilities, but I do have a pause button, so we got to see what my lighting system is going to do here. And it's going to be way too bright. Stand by. Welcome back. Alright, so on this side of the table, I have a couple of Williams SD 45s. First one in Rio Grande. He's mid-90s, I think. Somewhere in there. It's got an electronic horn that sounds absolutely terrible. Flashing roof beacon. I'll pick him up here. Let me show. These are no flywheel, by the way. These earlier ones, there's 2 of them here. Look at the size of the motors in those. There's 2 of them. But I've talked before in my Williams stuff about how they used a Japanese manufacturer that's called Mabuchi. So the Niagara has one huge Mabuchi 550, RS 550 in it. This has 2 Mabuchi RS 550s in it. This is an early one that does not have traction tires, but it'll still pull anything. Next one is a Williams by Bachmann Rio Grande 44-ton switcher. I got another one over here. We'll look a little harder at that one. This here is another. Oh, and don't worry, Hunter. I did figure out what was wrong with this one. I was having an issue with this one. Wire came unsoldered, was all from the back motor. But you guys have heard me talk, and no one ever asked. I always said from that 1990 Williams catalog I had 4 locomotives. Here's the 4th one. So 3 brass steamers and then that guy. And it has performed flawlessly for 30 plus years. Next to that is, this was actually a set brake from one of my dealers that I used in, oh God, probably mid to late 90s. Southern Pacific Baldwin Shark. And it's not really a fantasy scheme, it's more of a what if. And you guys who know Southern Pacific know that they really did use quite a bit of Baldwin locomotives. They used the AS series, the RS series, VO 1000 switchers, stuff like that. And they were going to order some of these, and at the last minute they canceled it. So, it never happened. But, good runner, electric horn. New enough that it's, well, this is kind of that funky era when they were using more of the glossy paint, so I think that was probably mid to late 90s. But flywheel motors and everything, and same thing, I wired it in series, and with its companion A unit, it will pull my house off its foundation. So here we can get a better look at a Williams scale 44-tonner. These little guys are absolutely awesome. Full sound, horn bell. They're girthy. 2 motors. Fixed pilots. A safety tread in there. Look at your separate windshield wipers up there. No crew talk or anything, but that doesn't bother me one bit. So these little guys are good values. They're rated down to 027. Back when I used to be a forum participator, a lot of people used to bitch about, oh, they won't go around the tight 031 or whatever. Well, you know what? You got a swinging coupler here. All you got to do is put a freight car or a passenger car behind it that has a swinging coupler as well, and it'll go around 027. No problem. Last guy here, pretty unique. That is a Williams by Bachmann GE 70 tonner. Get on the other side here. I don't know if they still make this guy. I hope they do. It's a cool little unit. Main reason I like it is because of the paint scheme. That's the Southern Pacific Tiger Stripe. Crew figures, 2. I didn't mention on the 44 tonners. Per the prototype, why it's a 44 tonner. You have 1 crew member. Never understood why MTH put 2 people in there. Whatever. But yeah, same thing. Full sound, horn, bell, prime mover. Cool little guy. Cool little guy. These came in multiple road names, so you don't have to do a... I think Train World might even still have some. I bought this a few years ago, like right when these came out. God, I don't remember when that was, but still, a nice little model. I mean, it's little. It's probably half the size of like a Lionel post-war NW2 switcher, but dual motors. They're actually like old school. Their motors are actually, see that little round piece down there? They're in the trucks. But they do have flywheels, and they pull just fine. They pull absolutely fine. The trucks are die cast. They got traction tires. These little guys are performers. Oh, and the frames are completely die cast as well on these. Not sheet metal, they're die cast. So these guys, for what they are, they're heavy. You'll be impressed by the pulling power of both of these locomotives, so I highly suggest them once again. So alright, that's it. That's a quick overview of my Williams collection. As I can see by my timer, I've talked way too long, but hopefully somebody will get a kick out of this. But anywho, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Everybody have a good week. Bye.